This is just another business that's getting hit by the pandemic and all of these travel restrictions that we're continuing to get.
Yeah, absolutely. Hit hard, obviously. Trip.com is known domestically in China as Ctrip. It is the largest online travel services provider. And, there's two sides of this story, and I don't want to bury the lead, so I'll get to the second half of the story, and that is the guidance. Because let me just also say that their fourth quarter earnings beat the street handily. So they had a very good revenue and earnings picture on the fourth quarter. But it's the forward guidance for this first quarter is what the market and what we are looking at. And that is a projection for a 45 to 50% decline in first quarter revenue. And that might be an optimistic outlook given the quarantines and pretty much the closing off of borders around the world and outbound, of course, from China, which Ctrip provides the services for many of those Chinese who have gone abroad. They're not traveling. Very few people are traveling, so their revenue is going to go down. Now, in the fourth quarter, let me just run through this really quickly. Pretty good set of numbers. Accommodation revenue reservations, 12% up. Transportation ticketing, air tickets up 1.6. Package tour revenue up 11%. Corporate travel revenue up 34%. All these numbers are going to look very different when they report for the first quarter. Already, the top executive, the chairman, James Leong, as well as the CEO, Jane Sun, just in the last couple of weeks have announced they're not going to take a salary for the foreseeable future, and all top executives taking cuts in their salary up to half.
Yeah, what sort of belt-tightening measures are we seeing so far, and what more could we expect?
Yeah, I'm just looking on the Bloomberg terminal right now because their conference call started 8 p.m. New York time. So we're looking for headlines coming from Jane Sun and James Leong to see if they can give some sort of guidance on what kind of further cost cutting they're going to do. But this is a statement that Jane Sun put out to the company last week that was seen by Bloomberg News, basically saying the domestic epidemic situation is, in their estimation, entering a relatively stable stage. That's good, obviously, for Ctrip, but internationally, it looks a little bit more bleak. She says we must take a rational view and prepare for a long-term fight against the epidemic. Long-term view to fight against the epidemic. That is a global view as well. TCOM is the ADR ticker code in the United States. The stock is down, not surprisingly, 35.5% year to date, and it's about half the price it was a year ago. Much of those losses, though, not surprisingly, like we've seen on the U.S. stocks, down in the month of March.